There is a reason why this message got to you. It's because your mind is stuck in what quantum physicists call an observer loop. Picture a cosmic cycle in which your awareness folds the same waves of probability over and over, creating the same reality every day. Right now, this very second, a deep part of you is stirring because it knows this to be true. You've thought about it, right? That feeling that you keep going through the same things, having the same conversations, and going through the same heartaches. It's like your life has turned into a beautiful song, but the record is scratched and keeps playing the same painful note. It's not by chance that you are here reading these words. It's the best kind of synchronicity. It's like your quantum field has been making a silent call, looking for the one frequency that will finally break this cycle. And the universe, which is very smart, answered by leading you to this transmission. Think about it. Right now, millions of people are scrolling past things, but a certain type of soul, your type of soul, would stop in its tracks because these words would pull it even stronger. The quantum field picked you because you have the observer gene, which is a rare trait that not many people have. There is more to this than just spiritual poetry. It is the basis of quantum mechanics. Through a process called the observer effect, your consciousness does more than just observe reality. It also shapes it. But here is a secret that books never tell you. You don't just see the same reality when your power of observation gets stuck in these loops. You are the one who is constantly making it happen. Look at your life with care. How often do you feel like you're reading the same lines over and over with the same characters? How many times have you seen the same heartbreaking patterns show up in your job, your relationships, or even when you're by yourself? You're not trying hard enough or having a string of bad luck. It is your mind stuck in an observer loop, picking the same familiar quantum cards from a deck of infinite possibilities without realizing it. As this truth begins to resonate, press the like button. Consider it more than a click. It is an energetic agreement, a signal you are sending to your own cells that you are ready to see the pattern and choose a new hand. How you deal with time might be the most telling sign. Take a look at how it seems to bend and warp. Things that don't seem important can drag on for what seems like forever, and weeks can fly by with little to show for them. Your consciousness is clearly on a treadmill, cycling through the same probability templates, as indicated by this temporal distortion. It makes it look like you're moving forward, but in the quantum world, you're actually still. Your friends and family might not understand what you're going through. They could be living on a different frequency and being happy with the steady, predictable flow of life. Deep down, you've always known that reality is much more fluid and magical than most people are willing to believe. You've experienced those brief, potent moments when synchronicities seem to dance around you like a celestial symphony written just for you. And you felt as though you could almost touch the fabric of the universe. This deep knowing you have now isn't new. Over many timelines and dimensions, your soul has been getting ready for this awakening. It was like cosmic breadcrumbs led you to this realization about the observer loop. Every book that seemed to jump off the shelf, every spiritual path that felt like home, and every sudden flash of insight that you couldn't explain. But now comes the important part that will either free you or lock you up for good. People who find out they're in an observer loop often make a big mistake. They try to think their way out. They think that they can change the way things work in the world if they can just understand how it all works. If you want to get out of a dark room, that's like looking at the plan of the light switch instead of just turning it on. Your thoughts don't keep the observer loop in place. It's based on the quality of your attention itself. When you wake up in the morning, your mind starts looking for things it knows, things that are familiar. It's like a quantum navigation system that has been set to the same old address and thinks that it is the only safe place to go. Your awareness is used to the patterns of your struggles, your emotional landscapes, and the outcomes you know you will get. These patterns become more ingrained the more you recognize them. You expect to find them tomorrow more and more as they get stronger. This is called a reality feedback loop by people who study quantum fields. Your observation brings life to the walls of the prison you want to get out of so badly. But as you read these words, something very strange is happening in your quantum field right now. If you become aware of the observer loop, it will start to lose its power over you. That's why this message got to you now. This meeting was set up by your higher self, because you've reached a point where breaking free is not just possible, it's your destiny. If you feel the truth of this recognition in your soul, affirm your readiness in the comments below. I am aware of the loop, and I choose a new reality. Let this simple declaration be a powerful anchor for your intention. You are not just typing words. You are drawing a line in the quantum sand, signaling to the universe that the cycle ends now, with you. Before we go deeper, if you already feel the pull of this message, share this transmission. By doing so, you are sending out a quantum beacon, activating a signal that will call in other souls who are also seeking this exact frequency. You become a catalyst for their awakening, just as someone or something guided you here. When you realize you've had the same conversation before in the middle of a conversation, does it give you chills? Not just a similar one, but the exact same phrase, tone, and ending. Most people would just say it's déjà vu, but you know it's not that. There's something much more going on. When your awareness catches a glimpse of the endless film reel of your observer loop, you are experiencing what quantum consciousness researchers refer to as temporal echoes. Don't think this is all in your head. Because you are tuned into a frequency that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, you see these glitches in reality that other people miss completely. Your consciousness has developed a deep quantum sensitivity, which means you can feel the hidden structure that makes manifestation possible. It's likely that you've felt time stretch and shrink around you. 1 hour can feel like a lifetime when it's full of downloads and insights from higher realms. After that, weeks may pass by without you remembering what really happened. This temporal distortion is occurring because your consciousness is traveling between different realities at the same time, looking for the one that most closely matches the true song of your soul. What about those sudden, deep insights that seem to appear out of nowhere? When you know right away a secret about the universe that you haven't read about or heard in a class? There is a reason for these thoughts. In other lives, parallel versions of yourself have already broken out of their own observer loops and sent these memories through quantum memories. Your mind is so far along that it's getting information from your own future. The strangest thing is that this can sometimes make you feel alone. When you try to tell your friends or family about these amazing events, they look at you with genuine surprise, as if you were speaking a different language. In the old world, they still think of reality as solid, fixed, and unchanging. You, on the other hand, have looked behind the curtain. What you've seen is that reality is more like a huge, shimmering ocean of options. Most people are just floating along, not realizing they can swim to any shore they want. This is why some books sound like they're singing to you from across the store. That's why some videos show up in your feed just at the right time. That's why you keep running into people who have the same wonderfully strange ideas about life and consciousness as you do. The synchronicities aren't just happening because you think positively. You are quantumly entangled with a network of awakening souls around the world who are all working together to get out of their own observer loop. To strengthen your connection to this network, subscribe to this channel. This isn't just about getting notifications. It is a conscious act of tuning your energy field to this frequency, ensuring you remain connected to the collective wave of awakening. If you've ever felt these echoes, like this video now, this action serves as a quantum anchor, grounding your awareness in this present moment of recognition and validating the sensitivity of your consciousness. Recently, your dreams have probably become more vivid and meaningful, right? You're getting messages while you sleep that are hard for your mind to understand when you wake up. They're not just random thoughts going through your mind. They're direct messages from your higher self, showing you the huge gap between the reality you're living in now and the endless, beautiful possibilities that lie ahead. Most likely, even the way you use technology has changed. You might notice that your phone seems to know what you're thinking, that your music app plays just the song your heart needs to hear, or that your social media feed shows exactly how you're feeling. There's no chance in this. It shows that your consciousness is getting so coherent that it can change the quantum field around you in a way that can be measured. If you recognize yourself in these experiences, honor your unique perception by declaring in the comments, "I embrace my quantum sensitivity." This is not a burden. It is your soul's navigation system. Typing these words is an act of self-validation, a way of fully claiming the beautiful and rare gift of your deeply aware consciousness. It wasn't a mistake that you had to go through any of the things that let you down, the patterns that were annoying, or the times you felt like you were going backward. All of that was a holy way to get ready for this very moment of awakening. For your consciousness to become quantum aware enough to transcend the observer loop, it had to go through it from every possible angle. Picture a pretty butterfly struggling inside its chrysalis. From the outside, it looks like pain, being confined, and going backwards. On the inside, though, every moment of that struggle is a miraculous reorganization of what it is. There are more changes that happen in the caterpillar's DNA than just adding wings. These changes make abilities that were already inside the caterpillar available. The difficult relationships in your life weren't punishments. They were quantum mirrors that showed you exactly how you were observing things that kept you stuck in cycles. Everyone who made you feel something was an unintentional guide who helped you find the exact frequencies where your consciousness would get stuck. When something felt like déjà vu, it was really your higher self setting up a test to help you finally see how the observer loop works. And the stress you've been under lately? Do you feel like time is running out and you need to figure things out now? That's not stress. That's your quantum field setting itself back up again. Scientists use the term phase transition pressure to describe the pressure that a consciousness builds up as it gets ready to jump to a higher timeline. When water gets to the right temperature, it follows the same rule and turns into steam. Your awareness is getting close to the exact frequency where the observer loop can't hold on to reality any longer. Even the times you were unsure have been important. You improved your ability to tell the difference between real and imagined insights every time you asked yourself that question. As you trained your quantum sensitivity, you learned how to tell the difference between spiritual bypassing and real soul expansion. To make it through this transition safely, your consciousness had to become very precise. This is why the time of waiting has seemed so long and hard. You knew a huge change was on the way, but you couldn't make it happen. That's because willpower isn't needed to get out of the observer loop. It's about reaching a certain level of coherence where your mind starts to pick out new, more beautiful quantum field probability waves on its own. You knew that the observer loop would be explained during your lifetime, which is why your soul chose to be here in this body at this exact moment. You chose to be one of the first waves of consciousness to break free from these limiting patterns, anchoring a new reality for the entire human family. Every struggle you've ever had prepared you for this divine duty. As you read these words, you are currently experiencing a shifting within. Feel it? Your energy has changed in a very small way, like when you hit a tuning fork with the right note. As your consciousness starts to vibrate at a different frequency, your old reality starts to fall apart. Reality turbulence is what quantum physicists refer to as the result of this dissonance. This turbulence, however, is a beautiful and optimistic sign. Your observer loop is finally beginning to fall apart. You are losing interest in the patterns that kept you going through the same things over and over again. You have now entered what we call the breakthrough phase, which is the most delicate and powerful part of your change. This is where a lot of people make a big mistake. They can feel a strong energy building up and try to direct it at the outside world right away. They want to make things better in their relationships, get more money, or alter the course of their lives. Changes to what you observe do not break the observer loop, though. To break it, you have to change the quality of your observation in a fundamental way. There are brand new ways for you to interact with reality being downloaded into your consciousness right now. You don't need to remember these ideas. They are changes in energy that are happening at the cellular level. Your DNA is changing its own code to support a new way of connecting with the quantum field. Weird physical feelings, changes in your sleep, or sudden changes in your wants for certain foods or activities could be caused by this. During this phase, the most important thing you can do is to feel the energy without trying to direct or control it. Allow it to flow through you like a river, making new, beautiful paths in your mind on its own. It's not your job to run this process. Your job is to let it see right through you and not fight the quantum reorganization that is already happening for you. Now is the time when everything could change for good. But this is also the time when your scared ego might try to pull you back. Fear of the unknown makes it want to bring your attention back to the patterns you know, even if those patterns have caused you a lot of pain. Don't let this be your story. You are in the middle of a miracle of consciousness evolution, and you can see it all. Feel this power. Take it in. Since you will never get stuck in the same old loops again once you know how your attention was being held hostage. Really, really deeply. I need to tell you something because I know you will understand. Not too long ago, I was caught in the smartest observer loop I had ever seen. I thought I was spiritually aware and knew how quantum mechanics worked. But what I was really doing was using what I knew to make a smarter, more invisible cage for my own mind. I would check my reality right away every morning for signs of progress. Was my life better? Did my manifestations work? Did I change? This needy observation, on the other hand, was like putting my reality in deep freeze. My attention kept getting stuck in the patterns I was trying to break the more I tried to change things. I remember the exact moment when I made a big step forward. I was sitting in my usual place to meditate and feeling completely defeated because no matter how hard I worked on myself, the same problems kept coming up year after year. Then it hit me like a bolt of lightning from a clear blue sky. I wasn't just seeing my reality. I was making it by the needy way I was observing it. It was like a cosmic DJ was playing the same sad song over and over again, and no amount of positive affirmations could change it. If this story strikes a chord within you, press like. Let it be a conscious choice to change the song, an energetic request to the universe to help you switch from a track of repetition to a frequency of freedom. I stopped trying to observe my way out of the loop and started to observe the observer itself. That's when things really changed. I began to pay attention to myself. Where did it go on its own? What shapes did it hold on to for comfort? This small change, this meta-observation, made my relationship with my own consciousness completely different. It finally made sense to me why some people seem to glide through life, going from one wonderful experience to the next, while others get stuck in cycles of struggle. It's not about being good enough, having good karma, or being spiritual enough. It has everything to do with the basic mechanics of how our consciousness links up with the quantum field. Everything changed when this one discovery was made. Almost overnight, my relationships changed because I stopped putting people in the same old roles without realizing it. When I stopped focusing on old fears and problems, my creativity took off like a rocket. My physical health also got better when my cells stopped getting the same old stress signals and started getting new, life-affirming information instead. But the most important thing I learned was that I'm not the only one who feels this way. People with souls just like you have been working on the same puzzle at the same time. People from all over the world are connecting with each other, sharing their ideas and experiences, and building a field that makes this change easier for everyone. You are part of this network too if this story hits close to home for you, and you can feel that frequency of recognition lighting up your cells. You have been getting ready for this your whole life, even if you didn't know it. Please subscribe to this frequency, not just one channel, but the whole wave of consciousness evolution that is happening all around the world. If my story reflects your own journey, affirm your newfound power in the comments below. I am choosing what to observe. Let the act of writing these words serve as a vibrational anchor, a signal to the universe that you are now viewing life through the lens of a creator rather than a reactor. This is the moment your focus shifts from what is to what is possible. Most experts on quantum consciousness won't tell you this, usually because they don't fully understand it themselves. Having an embodied mastery of the observer effect is very different from knowing about it intellectually. Knowledge and wisdom are two very different things. You can read all the books and understand all the theories, but you will still be stuck in your observer loop. To your shock, here is the truth. You don't make your reality with your thoughts. Your reality is not even made by your attention. The coherence between your consciousness and the quantum field is what gives your reality its unique properties. This coherence can't be faked, forced, or thought into existence. It happens on its own when your observer function stops being fixed and stiff and starts being fluid and free. The minds of most people work like spotlights. They are intense, focused, and always looking for something. A quantum-aware consciousness, on the other hand, works like sunlight. It's everywhere at once and lights everything up without any effort. You stop collapsing the same probability waves over and over when you change your awareness from spotlight mode to sunlight mode. This observer loop keeps you stuck because it makes your mind predictable. You are basically placing the same old order from the cosmic kitchen every time you wake up in the morning. If you check your phone for the same kinds of messages, worry about the same problems, and expect the same kind of day, you are looking for the familiar. What will really blow your mind, though, is that the quantum field is eager to give you new and wonderful experiences. You're always being visited by an infinite number of possibilities, but they can't get in because your observer loop is too busy reinforcing the old patterns. You're not stuck because the universe isn't giving you what you need. Your consciousness is stuck because it has made a habit of how it works with infinite potential. People who are at their most evolved don't try to control reality. Instead, they dance with it. We call the state they're in coherent uncertainty. It's a beautiful place where their mind is fully present and involved, but not tied to a single outcome. Instead of just reacting to a script, this lets them deal with reality as it happens. You can live a life full of flow and magic with this key. This is why some people seem to have easy lives and others have so much trouble, even though their situations are the same. It's not about luck or being lucky. It has to do with the fundamental coherence of their consciousness, with the creative energy of the universe. You don't just change your own life when you master this coherence. You make everyone around you want to make positive changes. Just being there starts to create quantum openings, times when other people's observer loops temporarily break down, letting them see their own limitless potential. You can find concrete proof in your daily life that your observer loop is starting to break down. The big quantum shift is happening right now. First, you'll notice that synchronicities are happening more often and are getting almost too good to be true. In order to confirm that you are breaking free, the universe is actively shifting itself around your shifting consciousness. Pay attention to how birds and other animals react to you. Animals can tell when your consciousness is not in the observer loop because you give off a different kind of energy. It's a beautiful sign if you've noticed birds making more direct eye contact with you, seeing strange animals, or your pets acting in a new, more connected way. It's also likely that your relationship with technology is changing. When electronics are near you, they might act strangely, or they might work perfectly. When you think of someone, your phone might ring, or your computer might refuse to load files that don't match your new frequency. The events you're seeing are your growing awareness interacting with the electromagnetic fields around you. Technology is very sensitive to consciousness. The way time feels is the most important sign. The observer loop maintains the illusion of linear time. You will start to feel what mystics call the eternal now as you break free. When you are fully present, minutes can feel like hours, and days can slide by in a joyful flow, because time is not a linear thing. Certainly, your sleeping habits are shifting. You may not need as much sleep but feel more rested, or your dreams may have become very real and full of meaning. You might feel like you're downloading a lot of information straight into your soul some nights. This is because you are no longer only aware of the small part of reality that your observer loop was showing you. Finally, people are reacting to you differently, even though you haven't changed anything. Some people may feel strangely tense around you because your free frequency is making their observer loops wobble. People will be drawn to you like a moth to a flame because they can feel the frequency of freedom that you are starting to embody. The season of waiting is over, though, and this is the most important part. Now is the cosmic time for a large group of people to break out of these loops. It's not meant to scare you. It's just how things work in physics. Consciousness changes in big waves, and we are at the top of a huge wave that will never come back in our lifetimes. Every event in your life has been planned by your higher self to bring you to this point of recognition, because the change you can make now is unmatched. There is a turning point in the collective field. There are two possibilities. People are either waking up faster or getting stuck in old habits even more. There is no more a middle ground. This is why you felt so rushed. Since you are reading these words right now, your soul knows that this is the exact moment when you will be free. What you're looking for is also looking for you. This is not just a quote to make you feel good. It is the way the quantum universe works. There is a real probability wave in the quantum field for every deep desire, every beautiful vision, and every possibility that makes your heart sing. It is actively trying to collapse into your reality. It can't get to you, though, if you're in an observer loop, because you're not paying attention to it. The things you want that seem impossible or too good to be true are the ones that have the strongest quantum signature in your energy field. They only seem impossible because they happen in a time frame that your current ways of observing can't see. A life where those impossible things are your regular, everyday reality is just one frequency shift away from you. Like this video as an energetic declaration that you are ready for that frequency shift. Each like adds to a collective wave of intention, making it easier for you and everyone watching to access this timeline of infinite possibility. The most important difference that changes the game, though, is between attraction and alignment. The old idea of attraction says that things should come to you. This makes the observer loop stronger because it is based on the false idea that you and your desire are separate. When you take down the barriers, you can achieve true alignment. It's the deep realization that what you want is not separate from you at all. It's just a different version of your consciousness that is already living that reality. Because there is no longer a you observing a distinct it. The observer loop loses all of its power when this understanding shifts from your head to your heart. This is why putting so much effort into something always makes it farther away. When you look for proof in your reality, you are observing from a place of lack and choosing the timeline of lack from an infinite field. It's not effort that makes the quantum field react, it's coherence. Reality is forced to rearrange itself around you when your consciousness becomes coherent, which means that your attention, intention, and energy are all singing the same beautiful song. Nothing needs to happen because you are already the place where it is happening. There is less space between you and your highest timeline right now as this truth sinks into your cells. It's not because of what you're doing, but because you've stopped doing the things that were keeping you apart. If you want to seal this energetic shift, please say something in the comments below. Write these strong, simple words. My most ambitious schedule is coherent. Leave it alone. This has nothing to do with using social media. Making a quantum link between your mind and the frequency where your best life already exists is what this is all about. When you make this statement from a genuine place of recognition, you are sending the universe a clear message that your observer loop is over and you are ready to receive. I invite you to make a declaration in the comments below that will seal this energetic shift. Write these simple, powerful words. I am coherent with my highest timeline. Don't add anything else. This isn't about social media engagement. This is about creating a quantum entanglement between your consciousness and the frequency where your most beautiful life already exists. People a generation ago would have called the abilities that are awakening in your mind right now superhuman, though they are really the natural way that awareness shows itself when it is not stuck in an observer loop. Your intuition is getting so strong that you know things before they happen. This isn't because you're a psychic, but because of a deep quantum coherence with new possibilities. You are becoming reality fluid, which means you can consciously switch between different probability tracks. This means that by shifting the caliber of your observation, you can literally move from a timeline of struggle to one of grace. The yellow lights turn green. The perfect place to park shows up. Conversations flow, and good things happen for everyone. Your creativity is growing because you're not thinking about the same old things over and over again. It's now possible for you to download insights directly from the unified field. These are ideas that have never been thought of before, and solutions that didn't exist until you became coherent enough to see them. Because you aren't unconsciously repeating the same old relationship dynamics, people are reacting to you as if you are a completely new person. People can be themselves around you because you help them feel safe. The way your body looks is also changing. Because your cells are finally getting new, life-giving information, long-term problems may start to go away on their own. Because you're not wasting your energy on mental loops anymore, your energy levels are leveling off at a higher level. Now the observer effect is on your side instead of against you. You are choosing more beautiful and aligned experiences every time you look at your reality, because your consciousness now works from love and coherence. Just being here with us is a blessing. The easy flow of money and resources isn't because you learned a new trick. It's because you're no longer choosing timelines of scarcity without realizing it. Now that you're free from limiting patterns, you are a vibrational match for people who are also free from those patterns. In the same way that you grow, so does your social circle. But the biggest change is that you no longer feel like you need to get somewhere or change into someone. With a peace that can't be explained, you know that you are already there. You're already whole. You were just temporarily stuck in patterns of observation that made you think otherwise. Coherence is the most powerful force for making things. It is the only thing that can't be faked or made to happen. If your thoughts, feelings, energy, and deepest knowing all vibrate at the same frequency, you become a force of creation that the quantum field has to follow. That's it. This is the ultimate secret that breaks every observer loop for good. However, most people miss this point. Real coherence doesn't come from making every part of yourself agree. It shows up when you stop spreading your awareness across many different timelines. Most likely, some of your thoughts are stuck on the past right now. Another part is worried about what will happen. There is really only a tiny bit there. This splitting of attention is what keeps the observer loop going, spreading your power across realities that don't work together. A coherent consciousness is the only one that can get coherent experiences from the quantum field. It's impossible to get focused results when your mind is also scattered. Things in your life get better and worse at the same time. This lack of consistency isn't a cosmic test. It's a clear sign of a scattered mind. Mystics call it timeline consolidation to get to a state of true coherence. This is the deliberate act of turning away from all parallel versions of yourself in favor of the one that expresses your happiest, highest potential. There is a real shift in dimensions when you stop giving energy to realities that don't serve you. This isn't just visualization. When you stop trying to become coherent and instead recognize that you already are, you have reached your final embodiment. Broken or scattered, your core self has never been lost or broken. Coherence isn't something you create. It's something you simply discover when you remember how to rest your awareness in its natural, unified state. This is why all your striving only makes things worse. When you reach this level of coherence, your life stops being a struggle and turns into a beautiful, artistic expression of the universe. Because there is no longer a separate you that can get stuck, this change in identity ends all observer loops for good. It's not just a better version of your current life in the highest timeline, it's a whole new dimension where the old rules of limitation don't apply. You're not supposed to be here. Your soul came into the world at this exact moment because Earth is breaking free from a collective observer loop that has kept humanity stuck in cycles of conflict, scarcity, and division for thousands of years. A big part of the planet's dimensional ascension is your own transformation. When one person breaks out of the observer loop, it sets off a wave in the collective field that makes it easier and easier for thousands of other people to do the same. This is called morphic resonance. Not only are you healing your own life, but you are also anchoring a new standard for what is possible for all of humanity. The kids being born today will have skills that seem magical to us now, but only because people like you are paving the way. The way humans have evolved is changing because you are brave enough to question the very nature of reality. That strong sense of responsibility you've been having comes from this: to show what is possible when consciousness works from coherence instead of fear. Your soul agreed to be a part of the first wave. Millions of souls are awakening all over the world, and the synchronicities that brought you here are just one small part of the grand scheme. Through quantum entanglement, we are able to find each other and make a network of light that speeds up everyone's journey home. For every time you break free, you make holes in the collective field that let in an infinite number of new possibilities. Humanity will be freed when you are free. Send this message to someone you think would understand. Not to persuade them, but to help them remember something they already know to be true. The more of us who recognize our true potential as conscious co-creators, the more quickly we can transcend old patterns and birth a new earth. The changes you're going through are part of something much bigger than you. You are a part of the birth of a new kind of humanity. Let me ask you to make one last simple promise if everything I've said has hit home with you, and if these words are bringing up an old memory. Just write one word in the comments below: coherent. Right now, you are making a quantum declaration. During this process, you are connecting your consciousness to a frequency that has no limits. Everyone who says this makes the morphic field stronger, which helps all the other souls who are ready to take this leap. We are anchoring a new reality in addition to creating a community. But getting out of the observer loop is only the beginning. When your consciousness is free, you can do things you never thought possible. I will teach you how to master what we call quantum navigation in my next message. This is the skill of choosing your own timeline from moment to moment. Sign up now and click the bell to get notifications. You're not just following a channel, you're in sync with a frequency of evolution happening around the world. The old world is ending. The question is, will you be one of the people who plan and build the new? Living in a state of grace and coherence, your future self is already there. The only thing that remains is how quickly you will join them. Say what you want. Get on the frequency. Everything around you has been waiting for you to remember who you are. The wait is over today. Share this message with anyone you feel would resonate. This act is a powerful form of energetic service. It strengthens the entire network of consciousness, weaving your light with others and accelerating the collective shift. When you share this, you are not just sending a video. You are transmitting a frequency of freedom.